Hi guys, Nathan here from tennisfitness.com. What I want to go over with you today in this video is injury prevention. I want to give you some exercises to take away that you can start to apply to help prevent injuries. So these are really just giving you a bit of a starting point on how it all works and giving you a little bit of knowledge on how to help prevent injuries for yourself and those people around you. First exercise, or the first phase, or the first part we want to talk about is the shoulder girdle. Particularly for younger players, it's a very, very vulnerable point of the body. It's a vulnerable joint, particularly overhead and forehands and things like that. So the shoulder generally doesn't have, for younger players, enough stability in it, and it's one of the injuries that will occur due to overuse. Injuries will be with the shoulder girdle. So you just see I've just got a band fixed to the fence, okay, using our bands that we've developed, and we're going to do an external rotation of the shoulder. So I'm going to start off holding the band there. I'm actually going to be taking my arm out to the side. Alright, that's how it's going to look from the front. So knees are softened, I'm keeping myself nice and straight. Now just notice how I just shift the shoulder back and I'm trying to get tension in the back of the rotator cuff here. From that position there, I'm fixing the arm into the side, so the shoulder's drawn back, the arm's fixed in, and then I squeeze back through the shoulder. As I rotate the hand out, I'm squeezing and I'm holding that position nice and tight. One thing that's common for people to do is this, okay, it means they've got too much resistance going on and they need to minimise it. I want to do 3 sets of 15 on both sides. Yeah, you want to work your non-dominant and your dominant side, okay? Your dominant side obviously is going to be a bit stronger, so you need a little bit more resistance through there. Alright, so the next exercise we're going to show you now is the band row, okay? This is just going to target the muscles running in our upper back, okay? So this is how it's going to look from the side. I'm going to be holding the band here in both hands, and I'm actually initiating the movement, I'm initiating the exercise by squeezing my shoulder blades back, in and down. So they're coming back and they're sitting down. So I squeeze in and down and then I pull the hands through. You're not starting the movement by moving the hands first. I'm going to show you how it's going to look from behind. You want nice controlled movement the whole way through those exercises, and you want to do 3 sets of 15. Once again, you want to be targeting this area up here, the upper part of your back. Alright, these guys across here, this joint here is very vulnerable in tennis, the wrist joint. What we need to really target here to help prevent injuries through the wrist is strengthening up our forearm flexors and extensors. So these guys here, we want to get them stronger, but particularly through that movement there. Okay, so to do that, once again, we're going to use a band. It's all you need for these injury prevention exercises, particularly for younger athletes. I can get more resistance or less resistance just by changing where I'm standing on the bands. I need to bring the elbow joint up to 90 degrees, okay, and I'm going to drop the wrist down. So the resistance is pulling down, and I'm going to grip the handles nice and tight, and I'm squeezing up like that. I see how my arms aren't moving, all it's moving is my wrist joints. At the same time I'm doing that, I'm actually giving the handles a real tight squeeze, and that's going to help get the muscles fatigued a little bit more. It's a big tight squeeze, and we want nice long range, and you want to do 15 to 20 of these. You want to get the muscles really burning. Okay, so we've got that. Then we actually want to keep our feet, okay, once you've done 3 sets of 15, you can change your hands over this way. Probably move your feet in a little bit closer. It's a little bit harder exercise. So even more for me there. And we're bringing the hands up like that, and we're going to do the reverse. So we're going to drop the hands down that way, and we're bringing them up as high as we can. Once again, we're locking the arms into the side, holding a 90-degree position, and we're getting nice, high range. 3 sets of 15 to 20 of those as well, guys. And that's going to help prevent injuries through the wrist joint for us. The game of tennis involves a lot of lateral movement, okay? So we need to look at what injuries can occur through that range of movement, and also particularly through overusing that, so doing things when you get tired or doing it too much, what injuries can occur through certain movements. So we know there's a lot of lateral movement in tennis. So we know that the glute and the hip joint have to work really hard, okay, through that range of movement. So we want to look at what areas we need to target to help prevent injuries and get stability into the hip joint. Okay, getting your glutes stronger and preventing hip injuries, okay, there's different ways to do it. Lying down on the ground is great, okay, but we want to show you an exercise now to help get the glutes going in a standing position, so it's a lot more functional for tennis. So to do that, we're going to stand with one foot on the ground, coming onto the tippy toes on the other leg. We lean forward, keeping our back straight, and we're stepping the leg straight back to the side. And I'm going to start to feel a burn into this glute muscle here. So we're going to go there for 30 seconds, then we're going to go back on a diagonal for 30 seconds, and I'm going to go straight out to the side for 30 seconds. So you've got a minute and a half of doing this. Nice controlled tempo, and you're going to start to feel a burn in the glutes. The ideal way to do it is to have your hands up against the wall. In this case, I'm going to use a fence, and I'm going to lean forward, okay? So I'm leaning down, I'm poking my butt back. For 30 seconds. 30 seconds. 30 seconds through there. The next exercise we're going to do for the glute girdle is the bridge, okay? I'm going to pop down onto my back like that. Feet are about a foot away from the base of my glutes. My feet are hip width apart, my hands are pinned into the ground, and my head's in a nice neutral position. What I want to do from there is squeeze my butt together, and at the same time I'm lifting my hips up towards the sky. I hold that for 3 seconds, and I come down again. So I lift up, squeeze, 3 seconds, and I come down again. We want to do that 3 sets of 10 repetitions. Big squeeze as tight as you can, okay? Make sure you're getting the hip to drive up, and we're lowering back down again. Alright, so our fourth phase of our injury prevention program is trying to strengthen up our core muscles, particularly our lower muscles, which are really important for protecting our lower back, okay, from injuries. So the way we're going to do that with our first exercise is called a leg extension. So we're laying down on our back, we're bringing our legs up into what's called a tabletop position here, 90-degree bend, 90-degree bend at the hip joint and the knee joint, okay, and I'm trying to draw my stomach into a ball down into my lower part region of my stomach, alright? I'm going to hold that position there. So I'm not just relaxing my stomach, I'm trying to draw it in and down towards my hips. From there, we're just going to come out, extend the knee joint, and we're alternating sides. Okay? Now, one tip for you with these is, you've got to make sure you don't overextend your leg. If you get your leg out and you start to feel your back want to start to arch, you're taking your leg out too far and you don't have enough strength through the lower abdominals yet to be able to control the movement. So our legs are there, you can just do a short movement. As long as you're pulling the stomach in nice and tight, you're going to start to get a good burn down in that lower part of your abdominals. Okay? The second exercise we're going to go through is what I call a 4-point extension. This is one of my favourite exercises. So what we're going to do, we're going to get our hands straight underneath the shoulder joint. Okay, in that position there, and my knees are coming straight out down from my hip joint. What I want to do from there is I want to balance, okay, on my left hand and my right knee, and I'm going to take the right arm and left leg out. When they're extended, I'm really trying to draw in really tightly through here and keep my back in a neutral position. And I come in without letting my hips drop. I'm still keeping that tension and contraction in the stomach. I change sides. Extend right out. Bring it back in nice and slow, control on the changeover. Nice slow movement. And we want to do 3 sets of 10, so 3 sets with 5 on each side of those. And the Leg extensions, we want to do 3 sets of 20 of those, so 3 sets of 10 on each side. Alright guys, so there you have it. There's a little bit of an intro into injury prevention programming for you, something to get you going. We are going to be having a lot more information on injuries coming your way, so keep your eyes open for those, because it's a really, really important component of tennis. Okay, so let's just quickly recap what we went over today. So we looked at some exercises to help injury prevention through the shoulder joint. Okay, we looked at injuries, preventing injuries through the wrist joints. Okay, and then we looked at to prevent injuries through the hips. Okay, and then last of all we looked at exercises for the core. Okay, particularly down for the lower abdominals. So these are 4 key areas where most injuries occur, and if you can strengthen them up and do these introduction strength exercises regularly, you are going to give yourself a lot better chance at staying injury free. Once again, keep your eyes out for our other injury programs coming. Until then, train like a pro, play like a pro.